This is a page from InnoCare Health in Canada, and we're going to begin thinking about it just like a prospect. I have never seen this page before, and we haven't had a conversation with the marketer so that I even know the page's objective. And I think that's important, really, because the prospect doesn't know it either when they first come here. They're going to have to understand it organically as they experience it, and we're going to do that together. Our goal is to help this marketer to improve performance, but also to find transferable principles that can apply to our own pages. And I'd rather approach it in a sort of relaxed way, but you may see me shift into the mindset of the prospect because I've got to see it through those eyes to actually help improve its performance. So, InnoCare Health. Value proposition is something we've spent years in research on, and as I look at this page, I'm going to pose a question. If I were the ideal customer, why would I select a solution from this organization rather than one of their competitors? Now, if you think about that for just a moment, let's look at the top of the page and say, has that question been answered? When you come to a page like this as a prospect, you have three sort of subconscious, almost intuitive questions. The first one is this: where am I at? Sometimes you come out of the search engine, you're not sure. Your back foot is in the search engine. Your front foot lands on the page. You look around for a moment, and if you don't see what you expect, then you back out of that page and click to the next one. That great casino in the sky, Google counts on that, and they make a lot of money when you do that. So let's imagine that I've just landed on this page, my back foot is in the search engine, and I don't know if I want to go further or not. The first thing I see is find your clinic. I think that's a little bit forward. In the thought sequence, I'm not ready yet to find my clinic. I got to determine that I want to work with you to find my clinic. I got to determine that you're the person that can help me find the best clinic. I got to know why I should stop, and that question hasn't been answered. Now, I'm not even sure when I come to this page that the first question's been answered, where am I at? Because InnoCare Health is in a very tiny white font across a color image, making it very difficult to read, and very candidly, even if it were a little bit heavier in font, it's not going to be seen because the image and focus of the page is right there under those four boxes, and your eyes are going to go straight to that. If you were to put a heat map on this page, I think that's what you'd sort of discover. And I want to suggest to you that we control what people see on the page by the relative impact of these components: size, color, shape, motion, and position. And the position and the size and the color draw your eyes right to the center. But what do I see? Physiotherapy, acupuncture, chiropractic, and massage. Wonderful, but why would I do anything further? And by the way, are those buttons? I'm not certain if they're buttons or they're something else. And what do they have to do with these legs? All I see but behind him is a set of legs. I see a woman's legs and a man's legs, and I can't tell what they're doing. It's distracting, if not confusing. And it accounts for a problem I constantly see in marketing, and that's our blind spot. We fail to see the page through the eyes of the prospect. Let me assume for a moment the prospect's mindset. I'm not sure I'm in the right place. I don't see one reason why I should stop and spend time with you, and there's nothing about those legs that indicates anything that's going to draw my attention. It's odd, if not offensive. So what do? Well, select a service to find the best healthcare provider. Why would I stop select a service? I don't have any answer. Now, I've already been 5 minutes in this very short time, and I haven't got through the first 4 inches of the page, but I haven't also answered the other three questions. Where am I at? What can I do here? And why should I do it? I don't know the answer. From looking at these pages, I can't tell where I'm at, and I have no idea why I should do it. I understand I might be able to find a clinic, but that's it. Now, you, by the way, have about 7 seconds to answer those three questions. 4 inches. And this page is not accomplishing that. Beneath that are stars. 5-star healthcare providers in your neighborhood. First problem, that sentence from a piece of copy is it doesn't make a complete statement. It's actually a long title. Think about it. There's no subject-predicate formation. You must make meaning for the person who comes to this page. Don't ask them to stop and make meaning themselves. This requires effort and energy, and it's much easier to click the little button on the mouse and go back. One click, and they have terminated your opportunity to communicate with them. Now I see over 240 clinics across Canada. Wonderful. But what does that mean? And why does that matter to me? And then I see something completely separate. It looks like a banner ad. Is it a banner ad? I'm not certain. It says, I trust InnoCare Health to find the best therapist in my city. Big deal. I don't know who you are. I don't know why that should matter to me. And by the way, I don't live in Toronto. So what are you doing with that large space on your page? And then underneath it comes two more banner ad looking things. This page is all boxes and barriers. And every single box, every single barrier is an obstacle to someone smoothly experiencing the sequence of thought. Are you a top healthcare provider? Wait a second. I thought this page was about me finding a clinic. Now you're asking me if I own a clinic or I work in a clinic. And then over on the right-hand side, the top Canadian clinics. Those two boxes look identical, but their messaging is completely different. Are they talking to the same segment? Are they talking to me? I'm not sure. Indeed, I'm completely confused. And what I'm experiencing is the experience that anybody will have, and that's if they're being generous with their time and willing to get that far down the page to try and sort of make meaning out of what they're seeing. Now, if you're the marketer, there's good news, because every one of these problems really is an opportunity for you to improve the experience of the page and its overall conversion rate. If I were to redesign this page, I would begin with a meaningful headline and a strong subheadline that would move into like a short paragraph, maybe 2.5 lines, that would be followed up by 3 or 4 bullet points. And in that space, I would sort of emphasize the value proposition. I would answer that question, why engaging with the content below will make a difference. And then I would build on that and give them a simple choice with a single, very clear call to action. Oh, and by the way, I would not try to talk on the same page to healthcare providers and potential patients. So, we've looked at this page for just a few moments, but there's a lot more we could talk about, and there's a lot more we could recommend, but perhaps with this little bit of time together, you can go back, think about it, and if you submit the page, we'll be willing to sort of think about how to run an experiment and discover which one is producing the highest possible value for you. Thank you.